Hello, welcome back again. This is a bonus video. Well, let's continue learning about the modal verbs. We learned previously that the modal verbs do not have a certain tense. They can be used in any time. Anytime, the time means present, or the time in the past, or anything you like, okay? But it's not a tense. It's not used as the tense itself. There's a difference between time and a tense. Tense sometimes may be used for different reasons. Okay, a time is a wider scale. Okay, so in this session, we're talking about that we can use the had to, or was able to, or use a modal verb plus have, but the meaning is different. Let's see. If we want to use the modal verbs in the past, in the time in the past, we say we had to know then. We had to know then. Had here is the past of have or has. We had to know then. This means that there was no choice. There was a necessity, a very important, that they had an important reason for them to had to know then. The pills might have helped him yesterday. What is the difference between we had to know then and the pills might have helped him yesterday? We know if we use something in the past, the action is finished at a certain time in the past. But if we use the modal verb might, the meaning here is different. Okay? The meaning here means that the pills didn't have an effect on him yesterday. We use might have helped when we say that action that happened in the past or any time in the past, and there's no connection with now. There's no connection to the present time. Okay, this is not present perfect. We know the present perfect formula: have plus the past participle of the verb, the subject, which is the pills, plus have, plus, let me write that on the board. Okay, I'm going to write that on the board. So to clarify that might here is this formula is not present perfect, because you might be confused a little bit. Okay, so let me confirm this again. We know that, let me just make it wider a little bit. All right, that's better. We know that the present perfect, okay, the formula, the form of the present perfect is subject, you know, I, we, you, they, he, she, it. If it's I, we, you, they, so I, we, you, they, okay, we take have, then the past participle of the verb. And if the subject is he or she or it, we take has plus the past participle of the verb. So this is the form of the present perfect. And we talked about it before. If you want more detail about the present perfect, it has lots of usage. one of it to talk about an action that happened with no specific time, or the exact time is not important, simply. But when we talk about the modal verbs, we talk about the time, not tense. Because you might be surprised why we use yesterday, which is a key word for the simple past. And we use might have helped him. So you might be confused. Have helped, this is a formula for the present perfect, right? But it's no. Okay, it's not present perfect time. Okay, this is we use, since we use might, then this is not present perfect. Okay, this is time, a time in the past. Since we use the modal verbs, then we are talking about a time in the past. This time could be a minute ago. So if we're talking about now, any time in the past, depending on the sentence, of course, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 2 days ago, maybe 1 week, 1 year, whatever. Okay, this is a time in the past. When we use might, we use it just to say that something happened in the past, but we're not sure of. We're not sure that this is happened 100%. Okay, there's a difference between it and the past. The simple past, if we use a simple past formula, we know that the action happened in the past, and that's for sure. We have a specific time and all details about the past, and that's all. But when we use the modal verbs, the situation is different. Then we have categories. We have might, we have may, we have must, so we have lots of modal verbs. We're talking about the modal verbs, talk about time. This time can be anywhere on the scale. Now, or past, or future. As we talked about you before. That we can use the modal verbs any time. Very well. So let's get back to the slide. The pills might have helped him yesterday. The pills might have. So I'm not sure if the pills helped him or not. If I'm sure, I would have said what? The pills helped him yesterday, and that's it. If I am sure, I would say the pills helped him yesterday. So these examples are taken from Oxford book. Okay, so don't worry about any formula or any form or any example. These examples are taken from Oxford to English grammar. So they are pretty sure correct. As I told you, the modal verb plus have is different from the present perfect formula or form. And the example there is in the simple past or a past time, because the simple past itself has a different formula. The simple past itself has a different formula. We don't use have helped in the simple past, right? So we cannot say for sure. But since we use a keyword that is used in simple past, I just say it's like the simple past, because it's happened in the past. But it's not the tense. It's not the simple past tense. Okay? It's not. I'm going to correct it again, just to make sure you understand me clearly. That's not tense. Middle verb is not in the past. Middle verb is not present perfect. Middle verb is not in the past. Middle verb is time. We talk about time. Just but if you told me, make it simple past because we have yesterday. No, simple past doesn't have this form as well. But if I remove might have, it will be simple past. So don't be confused. But in some contexts, could, would, should, and might are past forms of can and will, shall, and may. Okay? So in the present time, you would say, I can remember the formula. In the past time, I couldn't remember the formula. We use must, have to, needn't, and mustn't for necessity. Let's compare must and have to. Must, you have a choice. And you take it from the inner self, from yourself. You decided yourself. You feel like both must and have to are very important. Both are necessity, referring to a necessity. But I'm just trying to give you a little bit clarification. Must means like have a choice. All right. Have to means no choice. It's something that you have to do. I must go on a diet because I'm getting overweight. It's very important that I do this. And if I don't do this, I might have some circumstances where I might die because of being fat or getting a lot of weight. But you still have the choice, right? You know it's important, but you still have a choice. Nobody forces you. Nobody tells you, if you don't do this, I'll do this and that, right? If you say I have to go on a diet because the doctor has told me so, or the doctor has told me to go on a diet. So here you're going to do this because you have like no choice, or because it's a very important and it comes from the outside, from outside of you, not from you. This is not like a choice. Have to has more degree maybe than must. Both of them means important, means very important. All right. Must can be used in different sentences than have to. All right. And what I can say is like a choice. Must have a choice, have to don't have a choice. If you want to learn more about must and have to, or anything I'm explaining in this course, just simply use a dictionary and see if you have other options or if you have other examples that you can use to support your ideas, or to know how to use must and have to more, to have more examples on that. You can also use must in a question. It would be like formal question. Must I write these letters down? Do you insist that I write them? Okay. Do I have to write these letters down? Is it necessary for me to write them? We sometimes use must for things that we think are necessary because they are so enjoyable. You really must watch this new movie. It's amazing. Here must have a different meaning, as I told you. We have lots of usage for must. So must here means like, you really must watch this. It's amazing. It's enjoyable. We must have lunch together. Must here doesn't mean obligate or telling the person you must do this or not do this. But here it's like you just enjoy life. For a negative form of must, we use must not or mustn't. I must not run a lot because I'm sick today. But you still have an option, right? You can run even if you're sick. But if you are very sick, right, then you have to stay home. You have you don't have to run. Okay. With have to, we use do in negative and questions. We don't have to pay. Does the winner have to make a speech? Is it like very important? In the simple past, we use did along with have to. Did you have to wait long? We use needn't and don't have to say that something is unnecessary. The opposite of necessary is unnecessary. You need, this is like, remember that we have British English and American English. Some phrases or some sentences might be used more in British English, and some phrases might be used in American English. Okay. You need not always make an appointment, which is equal to you don't always have to make an appointment. You can also use don't or doesn't need to. I don't need to buy this, or I don't have to buy this. You can use have to instead of need to. This carpet needs cleaning. Cleaning here is a gerund or a noun. Needs cleaning. We can also use need as a noun, especially in the phrase no need, thank you. There is no need to get up early. There is no need. Like there's no man, there's no person, there's no need. Here it's a noun. Everybody has a certain needs, for example. Everyone wants to eat, wants to play, wants to sleep. Okay, I hope that you learned something useful today. We learned today how to use the following. Don't need to plus infinitive. By is infinitive verb. Doesn't need to. If you change the subject, he or she or it, you can use doesn't. Okay. She doesn't need to buy this. He doesn't need to buy this. We learned that after needs, we can put another noun. We can put a noun. The carpet needs this carpet, this subject. The verb needs the object cleaning. We learned that we can use needn't and don't have to say that something is unnecessary. We learned that we can use do or does in questions, or even did in the past. We sometimes use must for things that we think are necessary because they are so enjoyable, not because you have to do it or you must do it. Otherwise, you have another something that's going to happen. We have learned that we can use must I. This is like could be used more in formal English. Formal English. Or if you watch the movies, you might not see this formula used a lot, like must I do this. But you might see do I have to. This is like used a lot in the movies, and it's also good. It's maybe less formal than must I, but still it's formal. But not as much as must I. We learned necessity. We can use must and have to, needn't and mustn't. And we have learned the difference between must and have. The difference is not that big, as I told you, but this could be one of the differences, like a choice. Must have a choice, have to doesn't have a choice. And we learned that we can use the modal verbs in any tense, present or past. So couldn't can be used, all right, in different tenses, not just the past. remember. But here, this is an example of couldn't, like the past of can't. But I told you the modal verbs don't have a tense. They can be used in any time. Okay? And we have differentiated between the simple past, the present perfect, and the modal verbs. The simple past has its usage. The present perfect has its usage and formula. The modal verbs is like a naughty boy, like do not follow certain rules, like the tenses. It can be used in any time, anytime. Simple. It can be used in any time, present, all right, past or future, anytime. Thank you for watching, and if you have any question, please ask. I will try to add some exercises to support you with the modal verbs as much as I have of time. Maybe I will add exercises after I finish the videos, or maybe I'll add exercises on every video. So it depends. I'll see what I can do. Thank you for watching, and hope see you soon. Wait more for upcoming videos. Thank you again. Bye bye.